Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone, and get ready to be amazed because today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in the world of rare coins, where a tiny piece of copper or aluminum that most people would overlook in their pocket change can turn out to be worth an eye-watering $5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1974 1-cent coin has become a legend in numismatic circles because of the spectacular errors and mysterious circumstances surrounding its creation and survival. And in this video, we are going to take you on a thrilling journey through the history, the minting process, the known varieties, the possibilities of mistakes, and the factors that can transform an ordinary penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. So, if you are someone who loves hunting for hidden gems in everyday change, or simply enjoys learning about the most valuable coins ever discovered, then sit back and get ready to be captivated by every detail of how a humble 1974 1-cent coin could reach a price tag that rivals luxury mansions, supercars, and even small islands. Starting with the background, it is important to remember that the early 1970s were a turbulent time for United States coinage, because the cost of producing copper cents was rising sharply due to inflation and increasing metal prices. The United States Mint began experimenting with alternative materials to reduce costs, and one of the most famous experiments of all took place in 1974, when the Mint authorized the creation of aluminum 1-cent planchets as a potential replacement for the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc composition that had been used for decades. During that year, test strikes of aluminum cents were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and even though millions of ordinary copper cents were still struck for circulation, a small number of experimental aluminum pieces were created for congressional review, but were never officially released to the public, and were supposed to be destroyed after the testing phase. However, as history has shown with other great rarities, like the 1933 double eagle and the 1943 copper penny, sometimes a few pieces managed to escape official destruction and enter the world of collectors, creating priceless treasures. And adding to this intrigue is the fact that in Denver, the branch mint marked with AD also struck 1974 1-cent coins in huge numbers using standard copper composition. But with the experimental atmosphere of the time, there have always been persistent rumors and occasional discoveries of wrong planchet errors, transitional strikes, and other oddities that combined to make the 1974 cent one of the most closely studied and passionately sought after modern coins in existence. And to understand why a single example can be worth $5 million, we need to explore the entire minting process, because every step offers opportunities for rare mistakes that can elevate a coin's value far beyond its face value. The process begins with the creation of planchets, or blank discs of metal, which must meet strict weight and composition standards. But in 1974, when both copper and aluminum planchets were being handled for testing, it became possible for a few aluminum blanks to be accidentally fed into the presses at the Denver Mint, creating a wrong planchet error of extraordinary rarity. And if a Denver-struck coin on an aluminum planchet exists, it would be lighter than normal, around 0.93 grams compared to the usual 3.11 grams for copper, and it would have a distinctive silvery color that instantly stands out from ordinary cents. And collectors have speculated for decades that such coins may survive in private hands despite official efforts to recover them and destroy all examples. And this possibility alone fuels immense excitement, because a verified 1974 aluminum cent would be essentially unique and therefore capable of reaching a price of $5 million or more at auction. But wrong planchet errors are not the only pathway to extreme value for the 1974 1-cent coin, because the minting process itself involves multiple stages, each of which can create spectacular mistakes that collectors prize for their rarity and visual impact. For example, double die varieties occur when the working die receives a misaligned or repeated impression from the hub, causing elements of the design, such as the date, the letters, and liberty, or the motto, "I in God we trust," to appear doubled under magnification or even to the naked eye, and in a year like 1974, when dies were being prepared in large numbers, any significant double die could result in a small number of coins displaying dramatic doubling, which, when combined with pristine mint state condition, could fetch hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars at auction. Another category of valuable errors includes off-center strikes, where the planchet fails to seat properly in the striking chamber, resulting in a coin with part of the design missing and a blank crescent of unstruck metal. And the more dramatic the off-center percentage, the higher the value, especially if the date and mint mark remain fully visible, because that combination proves the coin's identity while showcasing the spectacular nature of the minting mistake. Similarly, broad strikes, where the collar fails and allows the metal to spread outward beyond its normal boundaries, create oversized coins that can command impressive premiums. And then there are die-cap strikes, where a coin sticks to the die and strikes subsequent planchets, creating distorted and highly collectible impressions, which in the case of a 1974 D cent could elevate the value into the tens of thousands or more. And we must not forget about transitional errors, which occur when a coin is struck using the wrong composition during a changeover year. As mentioned earlier, the early 1970s saw experimentation with aluminum, and there were also leftover planchets from previous years, meaning that a 1974 D cent could theoretically be struck on a leftover bronze or experimental planchet intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin, since the U.S. Mint occasionally produced coins for other countries. And such exotic wrong planchet strikes are among the most coveted finds in the hobby, because they combine historical context with physical uniqueness, making them irresistible to advanced collectors. And beyond these well-documented categories of errors, there are even more subtle varieties that can dramatically influence values, such as repunched mint marks, where the D mint mark was punched more than once at slightly different angles or positions, creating a shadow effect that specialists eagerly hunt, or small design differences caused by hub changes, which can lead to recognized varieties in major reference books. And every time a new variety is discovered, it reignites interest in searching through rolls of 1974 D cents in hopes of finding the next big treasure. And while most of these coins remain common, with billions minted, it is precisely this massive production that makes the rare mistakes so thrilling, because they are needles in a haystack waiting to be uncovered by the persistent eye of a determined collector. And when we talk about a $5 million price tag for a single coin, we are generally dealing with a perfect storm of factors: rarity, condition, provenance, and collector demand must all align to create such an astronomical figure. And this is exactly what happened in the case of the legendary 1974 D aluminum cent and other ultra-rare errors, where a combination of unique composition, undeniable authenticity, and top-grade preservation caused bidding wars among wealthy collectors to spiral out of control at major auctions, pushing the final hammer price into the multi-million-dollar range. And while the exact number of surviving 1974 D aluminum cents remains uncertain, with some experts believing only one or two examples may exist, the mere possibility of finding one continues to inspire treasure hunters across the country to search through old coin jars, inherited collections, and bank-wrapped rolls, hoping to stumble upon a life-changing discovery. And even for those who do not uncover an aluminum strike, other dramatic errors from that year, such as major double dies, off-center broad strikes, or wrong planchet pieces, can still command thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin, because in the world of numismatics, condition is king, and a coin graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC at the highest levels, like MS-67 or MS-68, can be worth multiples of the same variety in lower grades.